guys, Jody here, and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Jody, and I love the arts. And on my channel, I mostly talk about books, television, and theater. So if you like any of those things, be sure to stick around because I'm certainly going to be talking about one of those things today. Today I'll be continuing my Broadway show series where I talk about every Broadway show I've ever seen. And in today's video, I'll be talking about the second Broadway show I ever saw, which was Beauty and the Beast. So I ended up seeing Beauty and the Beast a total of 3 times on Broadway before it closed. And yeah, Beauty and the Beast is a stage adaptation of the very well-known film Beauty and the Beast. I will talk about how I like the show, who was in the cast, who was on the creative team, songs from the show, moments I remember from the show, and anything interesting I might find in the playbill along the way. Because it's really fun looking at back on these playbills and seeing what was going on Broadway at the time that I was seeing these shows. So before I get into more about Beauty and the Beast, a few years ago, I was reorganizing my playbills and getting rid of extra playbills that I had that I didn't really need. So I bring this up only because I saw this show 3 times, and I guess I didn't look clearly in all my playbills or closely, because I can't find my playbill from my very first time seeing the show. This is from my second time seeing the show. So I only bring this up because I wanted to say who was in the cast at the time that I saw the show, but really, the first time I saw the show was in February, and the second time was in June of the same year, so more than likely, most of the cast is the same. But it's annoying to me, but, you know, you probably wouldn't have known if I didn't mention it, but, you know, whatever, I guess. It's annoying for me. I can't believe I can't find my playbill from that time, but, you know, maybe it's somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, so this was my second Broadway show that I ever saw on Broadway. But this was the first time that I saw Beauty and the Beast. I saw it a total of 3 times. And I saw this show in February of 2000 on a bus trip. And as far as I can remember, I really liked this show. I thought it was a very well done stage adaptation of the film Beauty and the Beast. Basically, if you liked the film Beauty and the Beast, you probably would have liked Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. Because it was like a seamless adaptation. It was just very well done. I really enjoyed it. And, so as far as who was in the cast, I didn't even have to look at my playbill to remember who the 2 leads were. But before I get to that, I'll just show you like the picture, I guess the page where it says the title of the show, the creative team, the cast, you know, just to give you an idea of that. And then the picture showing the leads and supporting cast. So yeah, I remember, you know, by memory, I already, sometimes I have to remind myself who was in the show, and other times I just remember. And I saw Andrea McArdle play Belle, and if you didn't know, Andrea McArdle was the original Annie in the very first Broadway production of Annie, so that's pretty cool. And I remember that Stephen Blanchard was the Beast. I believe Stephen Blanchard was an actor who played the Beast the longest on Broadway, he was the last Beast on Broadway, and I don't remember what year he joined the show, but he played it for several years. And what I did learn looking at the playbill is, I didn't know this, but he played Gaston for over a year before he switched parts and played the Beast. So that's pretty cool. I think that's really interesting because it's very rare you see an actor, well, for a show that plays for several years, an actor to stay in a show for year after year. Usually people leave after 6 months or a year. And I think that's super cool because it's something you don't really see too often, and I really like that. Now, this was my second show on Broadway, so I still didn't know who a lot of the performers were, but since I do now, because I've seen them in other shows or on television or movies and stuff, and, sorry, I saw Patrick Page play Lumiere. I'm like, I don't know if you can see it. Patrick Page. Now, Patrick Page is just one of those actors. If he's in a show, you want to see that show because he is such a talent. He's such an amazing performer, and his performances are always so very memorable. And I've seen him, clearly I saw him in Beauty and the Beast, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but he's an amazing actor. And I saw him in the revival of Spring Awakening and obviously Hadestown. Oh my gosh, he was so good in Hadestown. But yeah, and then I didn't recognize any of the other performers besides those 3, that I've seen in other shows and stuff. But, I haven't seen everything, so I'm sure they've worked in other shows on television, film, and stuff. But this is a list, I guess a list. This is the page with the cast that is the chorus, understudies, and swings. And then, as far as the creative team, I recognize a few names. They're pretty famous in the world of Disney. You have Alan Menken, who is the composer, Howard Ashman, who is lyricist, and Tim Rice, who wrote the lyrics. Alan Menken and Howard Ashman obviously are very well known for writing the songs for like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Little Shop of Horrors. And Tim Rice, I think he's helped contribute to a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber shows. He also did Aida, and great songs in this show. I mean, the score was amazing. I mean, obviously, if you like the movie, you probably you like the songs in this too, because they're the same for the most part. I'm not sure. Like, a lot of times they add new songs for the show. I'm not aware of anything that's new. Just like looking at it at the song list. Here's the song list. But yeah, as far as my favorite songs in the show, I mean, they're all so wonderful. But I would say Be Our Guest is probably the most fun number in the show. I mean, it's like such a party number, if you will. It's so lively and energetic and fun, and it's just like a showstopper in the number. It's just great. And yeah. So as far as a moment in the show that really stands out for me, I would say at the end of the show when the Beast transforms. Like at the end of the show, the Beast like kind of, you know, he like is standing on the stage, and all of a sudden he's like in midair, and then like then there's a part where like there's a bunch of he turns a bunch of times, and before he turns he's the Beast, and then he transforms. And it's so amazing, that moment in the show, because it's almost like a magic trick. Like, you are seeing it happen, and therefore you should be able to see how it happens, but you don't. It just like in an instant he transforms, and it's just so amazing and cool. And I believe it was like a top secret how they did this on Broadway, because it's like you just want to know, but it's like, I guess, you know, not knowing is pretty, leaves the mystery, you know. But yeah, that's as far as like the show itself. You know, I liked it, and it was a great second show to see on Broadway. And that's kind of it for my thoughts on Beauty and the Beast. As far as what was in the playbill, I saw the show, well, this playbill's from June 2000, because I can't find my playbill. I don't know where it is right now. Yeah, June 2000. So the, you know, Tony Awards season was in the horizon. And the only thing that kind of catches my eye, well, they have a thing in here about like, you know, like shows that are currently playing. I'm trying to get to that part, sorry. You know, like a list of shows currently playing on Broadway at the time. And if, I don't know if that, you see? Sorry. Yeah, and I mentioned in my last video how I'm like a super fan of Michael C. Hall, and he was in Cabaret before he did theater and stuff before he did television. And they have a little thing in here at the bottom showing Cabaret, and he was in a cast that included Susan Egan, Dick Latessa, and Carol Shelley, as well as Michael C. Hall. And I didn't see Cabaret with him, but that would have been a really great cast to see, because I really like all these performers. See at the bottom. And then Saturday Night Fever was also playing at the time. And if you watch my last video, you know how I love Saturday Night Fever, so had to point it out. And yeah, that's kind of gonna be it for today's video. So have you ever seen Beauty and the Beast? Did you ever see Beauty and the Beast on Broadway? If so, how did you like it? And or the words aren't coming out proper, like smoothly right now. Sorry. What's your favorite Broadway show that you've ever seen over the years? I can't talk sometimes. Sorry about that. Let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye.